close is he to a title shot in sharing the ring with Bud Crawford?
I don't know. But Vergil, he's right there. He's right there. He's been proven that he belongs with the top fighters in the division. And, who knows, a couple of fights or the next fight or whatever the case may be, he might be sharing the ring with Terence Crawford. You never know.
Victor, he just beat Canelo, the face of boxing, so which that makes Crawford the face of boxing at the moment. And he earned the right to fight whoever he want to fight.
Terence, if you come to 154, is there a chance? Was that the conversation you had?
Basically, I just said, hey, are you going to defend it? And he said, no, that's my last fight at the Canelo. I'm like, okay.
Terence Crawford reacted to Vergil Ortiz's call-out with respect, acknowledging him as a skilled and hungry young contender who has earned his place among the top fighters. Crawford praised Ortiz's growth and ability, making it clear he recognizes the threat he poses. However, he avoided making any firm commitments, simply suggesting that in boxing, the future is never guaranteed and the right fights happen when the timing makes sense.
Your message now to Terence Crawford.
I'm here whenever. I'm ready to fight whenever. I'm here to fight anybody. I don't care if it's Crawford, Spence, Pack.
Vergil Ortiz has made it clear that he wants to test himself against the very best, openly calling out Terence Crawford as part of his mission to face elite competition. He explained that chasing fights like that is what fuels his drive, pushing him to sharpen his skills and continue evolving as a fighter. Now settled in at 154 pounds, Ortiz expressed strong confidence in his power, maturity, and overall development, emphasizing that he's ready for marquee matchups and believes the biggest names in the division should be next on his path.
I'm here to fight the best. I don't care who it is. It can be Loops next, it can be Spence next, it can be Crawford next, if he's still willing to do it. Because that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still. And we're just going to keep doing what I do best.
Vergil Ortiz spoke with unwavering confidence when discussing a potential showdown with Terence Crawford, boldly stating that even if Crawford were still in his absolute prime, he believes he would have what it takes to defeat him. Ortiz made it clear that his stance comes from deep study and respect, explaining that he has carefully analyzed Crawford's movements, tendencies, and ring IQ while acknowledging everything the multi-division champion has accomplished. At the same time, Ortiz emphasized that he trusts in his own strengths, his power, sharp timing, improved speed, and overall growth since moving up in weight, insisting that his confidence is rooted in preparation, not arrogance. While many fans point to Crawford's dominance across weight classes and his long-standing pound-for-pound status as proof of his greatness, Ortiz argues that no fighter is unbeatable and that he sees openings others may have overlooked. His comments have ignited serious debate throughout the boxing community, with supporters praising his fearless mindset and critics questioning whether he can truly match the experience, composure, and versatility of a proven elite champion like Crawford.
5 fighters that you would like to fight coming up.
So we got Tim Tszyu, we got Crawford, Spence, or I guess you can say the winner of Spence or Fundora. Charlo's is a good one. Who else we got at 54?
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound for pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could be the peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
I respect it 100%.
I believe that I can. No, I respect him as a fighter though. That's the thing. When I want to fight people, it doesn't mean that, oh, I don't like you. Like, let's get it on. It's more like I respect your skills and I want to see if I can beat you.
After Vergil Ortiz defeated Israel Madrimov, fans quickly compared his performance to Terence Crawford's earlier fight with Madrimov. Crawford responded calmly, saying that while Ortiz got the win, he didn't look dominant and that Madrimov wasn't as sharp or well-conditioned as he had been in their matchup. He suggested that the version Ortiz faced wasn't at his best, making the comparisons questionable. Crawford's comments made it clear that he still sees himself operating on a higher level, believing his experience and ring IQ set him apart from rising contenders like Ortiz.
But he just, he was more prepared for my fight. If you watch him, he was winning the fight and he gassed out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He gassed out and he said from, I don't know what type of sickness he had.
So condition-wise, he wasn't as prepared.
Yeah, that he had to pull out the first fight and come back. I don't know, but Vergil did good. He put a lot of pressure on him and, fought a good fight. But you could tell that he didn't leave unscarred.
Unscathed.
You know, when you look at the faces of both fighters, you would have thought Vergil lost.
Oh, okay. He did hurt his hand. His knuckle was broken. I don't know if you've seen him like the last couple of Vergil
Yeah.
Ortiz. Yeah, he had a broke hand, but he said he didn't know anyway. He didn't feel it throughout the fight.
It was a good fight. I thought Madrimov was doing too much moving.
Right.
You know, in the beginning rounds, which that was getting him the rounds in the bank, but at the same time, he was exerting too much energy.
How do you feel about when people say, because Eddie Hearn said it, a few people were saying it, that you moved up to 154 and you didn't have the success that you had in all these times. So they're thinking it's because of the weight, when I'm saying it's the style. Madrimov wasn't trying to commit as much, and you hurt him, he never hurt you.
Right.
So how do you feel about everybody saying that?
Well, I laugh. I won the fight. They making it seem like I lost.
Well, Eddie was like, no, I think that night in August, he was like, no, I don't know about that. I think, no, Eddie was, I believe Eddie was saying that.
Eddie was complaining about the scorecards. Nobody said Madrimov.
Eddie was saying that it was closer than that. Maybe Madrimov could have won. He was saying, I think he was. I think he was.
He's trying to get you mad at Eddie.
No.
Terence Crawford's next big step is already set as he prepares to face Carlos Adams on March 28th in Omaha, moving up to the 160-pound division for a new chapter in his career. Crawford has made it clear that his goal is to stay at middleweight for at least 1 or 2 fights in pursuit of another world title, aiming to become a 3-division undisputed champion and further cement his legacy. Adams brings real physicality, durability, and pressure, making him a meaningful first test at the new weight. While the matchup has generated excitement, it also sparks debate about whether Crawford will eventually return to 154 pounds for potential clashes with names like Vergil Ortiz Jr. or Jaron "Boots" Ennis. For now, Crawford's attention remains on adapting to naturally bigger opponents and proving that his skill set, ring IQ, and championship experience can translate seamlessly into yet another division.
Terence Crawford in their sights because they all understand that Terence Crawford can drop down to middleweight after defeating Canelo in September and becoming the undisputed super middleweight. Terence Crawford can now drop down to middleweight, 160, right? And become undisputed at 160 with 1 to 2 fights. 2 fights max, right? He'll be 39 years old in September. 2 fights, Terence Crawford can become undisputed, max, at 160. He can fight Carlos Adames in March. And then he can fight the winner of Lara versus Janibek in the summertime, August, right? And this gives Terence Crawford the history he needs to 1000% cement himself as, in my opinion, it's all opinionated, but this just cements Terence Crawford as top 5 greatest boxers in history, in my opinion. It cements him as top 5 greatest boxers in history because this will make Terence Crawford a 6-division champion and 4-division undisputed champion. That's what that makes Terence Crawford. That's historic. That's absolutely historic. And if Terence Crawford can pull that off, becoming a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion, that's massive, right? In my opinion, those accomplishments in the fashion that Terence Crawford wins these fights, he's not just winning. When he beat Errol Spence for undisputed, he dominated and stopped Errol Spence in a manner not many people saw coming. When he fought Canelo Alvarez, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do, dominate that fight, make it look easy.
A lot of people wanted to see that fight, you against Terence Crawford. You know, when you was at welterweight, and obviously you couldn't stay at that weight class. But then he moved up. Was there ever a point where the Terence Crawford fight was a reality, like a real offer, like real negotiations going back and forth, or was it never that close?
It was never that close, man. So, you know, I know a lot of people say that the WBO president said that we turned on the fight. I never got an offer. I wouldn't have said no. I would not have. I wanted that fight so bad. I mean, I'm not the type of person to say, oh, I want to fight this guy and keep pushing it and then get the opportunity and say no. There are fighters like that. I'm not like that.
Yeah,
you know,
we believe that.
I would have said yes.
Believe that.
But
what about your trainer, Robert? Have you ever had a conversation with him about the Terence Crawford fight?
More with my dad.
Okay.
More with my dad. You know, there were some days where he'll be like, you beat him if you fight like this, or if you fight like this, you don't beat him. So,
really? Your father
yeah.
really said
Yeah, he would tell me. No, he tells me the truth. He tells me the truth. If you fight him like this, you beat him. Other days, you're not gonna beat him like this.
You know, you might not remember, but when we had our show, I believe it was called Sweet Scientist at the time with The Zone, and we had you on, and you were one of our first guests, and I asked you about Crawford, and you was like, nah, not yet, I'm not ready for him. You know, that was humble. No one really speaks like that. Now, you was ready for him maybe about 6 months later, but still you were humble enough to say that. Do you remember that?
I don't.
You know,
no, I don't.
Hell no, you can't.
Jiren Ennis, one of the top super welterweights, has openly expressed interest in facing Terence Crawford, but emphasized that after Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez, it's ultimately Crawford's decision who he fights next. Ennis praised Crawford's accomplishments while making it clear he's ready whenever the opportunity arises, saying he doesn't chase fights out of desperation but sees a bout with Crawford as a chance to prove himself against one of boxing's finest technicians. After Vergil Ortiz's latest victory, he and Ennis had a face-to-face moment in the ring, exchanging words in a competitive yet respectful way that instantly sparked fan excitement and speculation about a future matchup. Ennis, currently holding the WBA super welterweight title, had previously hinted at wanting to challenge one of the sport's biggest names, and seeing him interact with Ortiz after the fight amplified anticipation. The encounter underscored how both fighters are aware of their rising profiles and are positioning themselves for high-stakes fights that could become some of boxing's biggest events in 2026.
For sure.
And I think this is one of the best like American fights that can be made.
For sure.
And with all due respect to everyone else around the world, I think it has to be in America.
For sure.
Right?
Gotta be. It gotta be. I feel like you gotta do this one in the States because everybody want to see it. Everybody go. I think it's a pay-per-view fight, you know, and I think everybody will pay to see it, or everybody will come out to come see it wherever it's at, whether it's in Vegas, you know, Madison Square Garden, wherever it's at.
What's your obviously you'd love it in Philly, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Philly, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay,
It's
so-
not gonna be in Philly. Yeah.
So where is the ideal spot for it? What deserves to host this fight? Which venue in your opinion?
To me, either anywhere in Vegas, so like the T-Mobile Arena,
T-Mobile, yeah.
or maybe or go old school MGM.
Oh man, I love the MGM.
Or we can go Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I think Madison Square Garden would be crazy as well. You know, that'd be, you know, historic as well. So either one.
There aren't enough big fights at the big MSG.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the theater.
No, I'm
Theater's
talking about
cool.
the big one.
Yes,
I'm talking about the big one. That's why I
Not
say I
enough
want to.
big fights.
I always wanted to fight at MSG anyway. So, you know, I like how it looks in there. It's real.
It's
it's really
incredible.
nice. You know, when they have fights and stuff in there. So, for me, it would be either the T-Mobile Arena or take it back. We can go old MGM, or we can do, you know, Madison Square Garden.
Do you think he would say yes to MSG because that's kind of a home game for you, right? That's so close to Philly.
I mean, I feel like he has a deep fan base, you know, and
Yeah.
I feel like all his fans and stuff will come. If it was to be in New York, I feel like they all will come. You know, he got a good fan base. I got a good fan base. I feel like it'll make for a great fight. Who don't want to come to New York?
Oh my God. There was a time where MSG was holding all these big fights, hosting, and now I feel like, you know, every couple of years we get, when we got Taylor Serrano, prior to that, it was, you know, Brooklyn's cool and all, but we got to go back to the Mecca. Mecca is the best. I would absolutely love that. In your perfect world as well, he fights November 8th.
Yep.
How soon could we get this fight? You obviously didn't get hurt in your fight, I would imagine, right? 72 seconds?
Yeah.
Unless something happened?
I mean, it depends on how his fight go. You know, if he's in a war, maybe we'll see. Maybe April, you know, March, April. You know, if not, if he make quick work of it, who knows? We could be back in there sooner. You know, so it's all for real. It's all up to how him right now, because he the one that has a fight. You know, hopefully he doesn't get no cuts, no broken, you know, hands or anything, or anything hurt on him. So it's dependent on him at the moment.
The other two options, of course, Sebastian Fundora and I think Xander Zayas.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is there is some interest from MSG to have you versus Xander Zayas at MSG. Are you hearing this as well?
I'm with whatever. That's what I can't wait. Man.
You want all these guys?
I'm really.
I like these options for you.
I'm really about to show y'all. Like I'm about to run through these guys. I'm about to run through these guys and show y'all one by one. Like this 154 really mine, and I'm gonna shut everybody up. I can't wait. I hear the little chatters and all the little talks.
What do you hear?
and all that.
What's bothering you? What are people saying?
It's just little
They're
things.
questioning you?
Yeah, they questioning, and it's cool, you know. And I love it, you know. They're not doing that, but like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it worse each and every time for whoever's stepping in the ring with me.
Seeing what Terence did not that long ago, did that give you motivation? Because it feels like for the longest time, people were questioning him, doubting him. He wasn't getting the big opportunities, the big fights. Do you see yourself in his journey a little bit as well?
Tim Bradley, the former American professional boxer, shared his skepticism about a potential matchup between Vergil Ortiz and Jiren Ennis. Bradley suggested that Ennis might hesitate to face Ortiz at this point, citing the risks involved and hinting that Ennis's team could be waiting for a bigger payday or a more favorable opportunity. His comments quickly sparked debates among fans and analysts, with some arguing that Ennis would take the fight immediately, while others agreed it might be wiser to build hype and anticipation first. Regardless, Bradley's perspective added another layer of intrigue to the growing rivalry between Ortiz and Ennis, fueling discussions across the boxing world.
And then, all of a sudden, you come up, you got that Benz now, you know what I'm saying? Back then they didn't want you, now you hot, they all on you. Yeah. This is one of them situations right here. Well, it's like, oh, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Now you all up on me. Man, did you see Boots? How he jumped up in the ring? I didn't know if that was Boots or Rick Ross. I was like, damn, is that Rick Ross in there? Like all the jewelry he had on and everything. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Is this the grown-up version of Boots? Because I ain't never seen all them chains all over my man, blinging, blacka, bling, bling, and all up on his chest and everything. I ain't never seen that before. I'm like, this dude got a new persona. Is this the killer Boots? This is what we've been waiting on? Because I'm sitting there going, this is...
Promoter Eddie Hearn weighed in on the challenges of making a Vergil Ortiz versus Jiren Ennis fight happen, highlighting how negotiations have been complicated by demands from both camps. He explained that Ennis's team often insists he is the superior fighter, while Ortiz's side pushes for recognition of his record and strong fan following. Hearn pointed out that despite the clear potential for a huge matchup, disagreements over money splits and scheduling have created roadblocks. He even noted that, at this stage, arranging a fight between Crawford and Ortiz might actually be simpler than getting Ortiz and Ennis in the ring. His remarks shed light on how high-profile boxing matches are often entangled in business issues, even when both fighters are eager for the fight.
So I thought it was a great performance. Vergil's a great fighter. This is not, there's nothing but respect from us, but we just know we win. And it's not for us. Once you start hearing things like, we're the A side and we want 10 million and we want, what does Boots, it's like, what? Guys, Ortiz has never been a world champion. Great fighter. Boots has been world champion, he's been a unified champion, but neither of them are world champions now. They're just the top two fighters in the division. So if you truly believe that you're the best, make the fight. And it'll be really interesting to now see if they truly believe. Because the fight's there, the fight's done, the money's there, the pay-per-view's there. I mean, it's a massive fight, but you can find an excuse if you don't want to do it. So we'll see.
And obviously we saw the fighters face off, and we know you want the fight, the fighters clearly want the fight. And you mentioned the $10 million mark by Rick Merigian, I believe his name is, the manager of Vergil Ortiz. Do you see it as an obstacle? I mean, is it a real obstacle?
If you come out with things,
Vergil Ortiz recently shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's move up in weight, noting that he doesn't expect Crawford to drop back down to 154 pounds anytime soon. With Crawford having bulked up for fights like Canelo Alvarez and now preparing for middleweight challenges, Ortiz recognizes that the champion's focus has shifted to higher divisions, which makes arranging a matchup between them more complicated. Ortiz respects Crawford's accomplishments but remains committed to taking major fights in his own division, showing his hunger to rise among the elite. Despite the logistical challenges, he keeps the possibility of facing Crawford open, emphasizing that timing is key. The ongoing discussions around Ortiz, Crawford, and Jiren Ennis highlight an exciting era in the higher weight classes, where Ortiz's ambition meets Crawford's strategic career management and veteran poise, promising compelling matchups for boxing fans.
Were you two fight at some point?
No, so he's not coming back to 154. I spoke to him. This is my first time saying it on media. I spoke to him, and he's not going to come back to 154. He's going to fight his 2 last fights and retire. And you know what? I respect it because he's been undisputed at 140, at 147. Get your money and get out. I mean, what else do you have to prove? You know what I mean? So it's just like it's.
That wraps up today's update. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you next time.